Podium finish in 4 races. Rossi takes 4th just from 2016 winner Cal Crutchlow. Dovizioso 6th. Petrucci over the line in 7th.
Well, a huge, I think, sigh of relief in that team. Actually, that was Danny Pedrosa's side of the carriage. That was Danny Pedrosa's dad. Boy, I bet they were biting their fingernails in the early part of that race. And well done, Maverick Vinales. Really good ride. There's one for Carter, he's a crew chief. Boy, Lorenzo led the race in the early stages when it was in the wet. In the end, finishing with a single World Championship point in 15th place. Behind him, no points for Scott Redding, no points for Rabat or Sam Lowes. Andrea Iannone, Hector Barbara, Bradley Smith retired. Baz and Batista crashed out in separate incidents. Roll on Austria. What's the weather going to do there, and what are the tactics going to be in Austria?
Yeah, feel a bit for Jorge Lorenzo. I think his day would have been much, much better. He lost a lot of time with his second bike, not quite fully prepped when he came in for the flag-to-flag bike swap. Andrea Dovizioso, of course, he stayed out the longest with Rossi and Zarco. Rossi 4th, Dovizioso 6th. Zarco stayed out another lap, and he ended that race in 12th place. Carol Abraham, who at one stage was fighting for the podium, he dropped back to 13th.
I tell you what, that could have been worse, those World Championship standings at one stage when we realised the master stroke pulled by Honda and Marquez. We were talking about bigger advantages than that. The chasers, led by Vinales, then Rossi and Dovizioso, have not done such a bad job, and they've made the championship still very interesting indeed.
Yeah, there was a couple of decent damage limitation exercises out there. Yeah, Danny Pedrosa, of course, as we told you at the start of the show, 150 career podiums now, only the 3rd rider in history to do so. Valentino Rossi leading the way by a country mile on 225 podiums, but a milestone day for Danny Pedrosa, and certainly good for his championship challenge, because he's only 17 points now behind Maverick Vinales in 5th place and 9 behind Valentino Rossi. Lost a bit of ground, of course, to his teammate Marc Marquez, who's now 31 points clear of Pedrosa.
There's some mighty relief faces there. I am absolutely fascinated, and I don't think we're ever really going to know. They'll probably say it was all planned, won't they? It was planned. It was a totally brilliant thing to do.
You know what? I'd love to know just how close Marquez was to starting on slicks.
Yeah.
He must have crossed his mind.
But if it was planned to go out just for 2 laps on that softer option wet weather tyre, test out the conditions, see how it is. Yeah, it's okay for slicks. I'm coming in much earlier than anybody else. Bang, gone, thank you. 25 points.
Well, the thing was as well, Nick, if he didn't stay out there, that he was dropping through the field. He knew he was dropping through the field. He didn't go, okay, maybe it will rain, I'm going to stay out and see what happens. He went, no, I'm coming in.
Well, it's a Spanish trio at the front, and a fitting tribute to the late, great Angel Nieto, Marquez, Pedrosa and Vinales. Good ride by Cal Crutchlow. He'll be disappointed that Rossi took him there at the end, but a very hard-earned 5th place by the race winner from last year. But here comes Marc Marquez. I reckon him and his team will be celebrating big style as he comes into pit lane, and rightly so. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Of course, a race is not won on tactics. We never want the sport to be like that, but they did take a gamble, and boy, did that gamble pay off.
Second race.
Santiago, his crew chief, looks more relieved than excited, doesn't he?
Yeah, he didn't have that many grey hairs at the start of the race, Santi. Valentino Rossi then did salvage 4th place at the end of that race. A late move on Cal Crutchlow claimed him 2 precious World Championship points, but when the post-mortem commences tonight, they will realise that they did not come in at the right time. They stayed out too long, and not the first time we've said that Yamaha and Rossi in a flag-to-flag race have got their tactics a little bit wrong.
Yeah, they are smiling about the weather forecast, aren't they? They are, without a doubt. Discuss it. Well done, Danny Pedrosa. Lonely, very professional. Another podium finish. Vinales back on the podium. And a smile. We haven't seen too many of them recently.
Well, Maverick, congratulations on the podium here in Brno after quite a crazy race. I think an important podium for you. Tell us, when you switched onto the dry bike, you dropped down to 13th. Did you know you had the pace for a podium?
Well, in the first laps were so difficult because, you know, I tried to make the best, but in the first laps I didn't have a good feeling. So difficult to make the tires get really warm. But after I felt really good, I think we did a good job. Anyway, after starting 7 and on a bad weekend, going on the podium is a really good result, so we have to work even harder.
Right, thanks a lot, Maverick. Congratulations.
Yeah, well done, Maverick Vinales. Keeping in that championship hunt. Back on the podium, his first podium since what? Beginning of June when we were in Mugello. Still second in the World Championship.
And like he said, one of his issues when he went out on the slicks was getting heat into the tyres and understanding the grip levels, and that's where Marc Marquez again comes to the fore. He's so strong at quickly adjusting to track conditions, as Dani Pedrosa looks like he's about to head over to talk to Dylan. Been a great day for Pedrosa, his 150th career podium. Not bad when only Giacomo Agostini and Valentino Rossi have scored more Grand Prix podiums than you.
No, and it's important he's right in the championship hunt. He's with Dylan.
Well, Danny, congratulations, second place here in Brno. On paper, we saw you had the pace to really challenge Marc, but of course, the bike change just came too late. Do you almost regret that not coming in earlier?
Well, we know these races are a little bit difficult to know exactly the point. All the day was like stopping and raining and stopping and raining, so it was clear that it was drying up so quick. I didn't imagine that was that fast, but for sure you never know if it's going to drop some spots again, so I was a little bit in between, and for sure I regret one lap because I decide one lap later. I think I could do one lap earlier, and this was on my plan, but finally I stuck on the line of the group, and yes, I regret that lap, but still for sure very happy with this race. We had a good pace, we were competitive all the weekend, and this is super positive for the team. Fortunately we didn't make perfect race, but was good enough for the podium, and looking forward to keep this momentum.
All right, thanks a lot, Danny. Congratulations.
Yeah, been a very good weekend for Dani Pedrosa. Looks strong throughout. Yeah, regrets just one lap. Could have beaten Marc Marquez. Marquez looked in such great form, but as I say, he's right there now in the championship hunt. He is just 33 points behind. 31 points behind his teammate Marc Marquez, who leads the way, and only 9 points down now on Valentino Rossi in 4th place.
Consolation for Cal Crutchlow was he was a top independent team rider.
And here he is, Marc Marquez. What a day for him and the team. Is he going to spill the beams to Dylan?
Well, Marc, congratulations. A very dominant victory here in Brno, and I'm sure many people on the first lap with that soft option wet thought you were crazy, but you came in, you switched earlier than anyone. Tell us, was that in the plan or was a little bit of luck involved?
Honestly, this morning with the hard rear tire, I didn't feel well. For some reason, was I think a strange tire, but this, you know, I lost all the confidence, and when I go out from the box to the grid, I felt something strange with the hard, and I say, put this off. But then when we started the race, I realized that was the wrong option. I mean, was spinning too much already on the beginning. But then when I see that was getting dry, I say, okay, this is my time, flag to flag. I will try to attack. And yeah, I go in very, very early because it still was wet, still very difficult. First, second lap, I nearly crashed many times, but I stay on the bike, and then I start to push. I take my rhythm, and then of course when I saw P1 plus 22, that was another race. I just tried to control the distance. I was able to be faster, but no mean. So very happy because you know, these kind of races are very, very difficult, but like we see Dani, Viñales, Rossi are there, Dovizioso also, so this championship will be long, will be hard, but we take these 25 points, very important.
Oh, yeah, thanks a lot, Marc, congratulations.
That's not a great call, is it, by Ducati, to be honest?
No, it's not. Obviously they felt the weather forecast was different, and they had a different wet weather tyre bike ready, but once Marquez had come in, boy, They must have realised that the situation was changing dramatically. So here comes Marc Marquez, the walk to the podium here in Brno. It's his third win at this circuit. His second in MotoGP, one Moto2 win. And he has opened up a 14-point lead in the World Championship over Maverick Vinales. Round 10 of the championship. The one lap, you would have never believed this would have been the situation, and he would hold such a big advantage. An advantage of, 12 and a half seconds, and he slowed considerably towards the end over his teammate, Danny Pedrosa. Maverick Vinales chats away with Danny Pedrosa back on the podium on that factory Yamaha bike. So onto the podium they come. First it's Maverick Vinales, first podium since Mugello at the beginning of June. In second place, Danny Pedrosa. But the race winner, his third win here at Brno, his third win this season, increases his lead in the World Championship. It's Marc Marquez. So congratulations to the Repsol Honda team. It's the man who did the weather forecast, I think, for the team. They're in great spirits. Not too much celebrating tonight. Big test here tomorrow for all the MotoGP teams. And then it's on the road immediately for our journey to the Red Bull Ring in Austria for round 11 of the championship next Sunday. Third place to Maverick Vinales. Look very